Okay, this is the Q&A number 5. The question is, how do you view the Enochian angels in regards to the traditional generational demonolatry cosmology? Where do they fit in? Are they closer permutations of the all, as in higher than demons, or are they lower? So let's just jump right into it. For me, the Enochian spirits are just different parts of the all. They are also of the demonic because they are part of that whole thing that makes up divine intelligence. This is my view now. I don't really see them as higher or lower to the divine intelligences since they are a part of it. And by divine intelligences, I do mean demons. However, I do believe they are their own unique energies. Okay? There are differences, whereas, say, I find the Goetia demons more aggressive and the Ducante demons more subtle and wisdom-oriented. I tend to find the Enochian spirits have more of a power of presence, and they're also very curious, too. Very helpful and quite willing to impart wisdom if you seek it. But they do have a wow factor that a lot of the other types of demons don't have. And yes, in saying that, I am saying that I personally am beginning to believe that there are actually different types of demons out there. And if I were to classify them, I would put, say, old gods, which fits more of the Ducante hierarchy. I would put them into one category. Goetic spirits would be in another category, and Enochian spirits would be in another one, because they are all very different sets of deities, or divine intelligences, for that matter. So that's kind of how I view that. Now people have been asking me which books I recommend when someone wants to study Enochian. Well, you know, for the longest time, there weren't really any good books about Enochian out there, okay? There's a really good one that just came out within the last, 3 years, which is Enochian Vision Magic by Lon Milo Duquette. You really have to read this book. Awesome. I also recommend John Dee's Hieroglyphic Monad. And with that, I also suggest Joseph Peterson's translation of John Dee's 5 Books of Mystery. Yes, it's pricey, but you won't be sorry. In the past, yes, I have recommended the Schuller book, one of the Schuller books. And there's a reason for that, and a lot of people misunderstand me to think that I actually recommend that for studying Enochian, and I don't. What I recommend it for is the Gematria. The Gematria and the magical tablets. I've tried in the past to teach students the Hebraic version of making a magical tablet, and it's a lot harder, let me tell you. And when I found the Schuller book, and I'm trying to even remember the name of that Schuller book right now, but regardless, when I found that Schuller book, I was like, it had such a concise, direct way to teach the concepts of tablets and the underlying bit about tablets, to where the student could understand them in plain English, to where it wasn't so archaic, that I actually started using that as a text to teach people about tablets, how to create the magical tablet, how to decipher magical tablets, and so forth. And yes, you're eventually going to have to go to the Sefer Yetzirah. And yes, I call it the Sefer Sephiroth all the time, but I know it's the Sefer Yetzirah. It's one of those things, like some people call it the Grimorium Verum, the Grimorium Vernum. Anyway, point being that it is a good tool for basically learning how basic numerology and gematria work in the construction of a tablet. But eventually, yes, you are going to have to learn Hebraic tablets and construction, and working through the Sefer Yetzirah, or looking through the Sefer Yetzirah for meanings of those numbers that you do come up with. Eventually, that's just kind of how it works. But it is a nice little introduction if you're looking at it from that perspective. There's also a good Skinner Rankine book out there about Enochian tablets that is pretty awesome as well, and you should look into that too. I'm trying to think, there's a biography of John Dee by a Jeffrey somebody, and it's not that bad either. If I think of the name, I'll actually post it on this video. But in the meantime, that's a good reading list, I think, to get you started. if anyone has any more questions about this, just let me know. And I think this concludes our Q&A number 5.